country welcomes the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. A former cabinet minister reaches a settlement in an acquittal case, and a business owner determined to rebuild after his family business goes up in flames. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Thursday, March 24th. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are here. Having arrived in country at 4:30 this afternoon, they then went on to pay a courtesy call to Prime Minister Philip Davis at the Office of the Prime Minister. Tomorrow, they're expected to visit the Sybil Strawn Primary School and meet key healthcare workers at the Garden of Remembrance. Then on to a sailing regatta at Monarchy Bay. Their day will end tomorrow with a Governor General's reception at Bahamas Resort, and on Saturday they head to Abaco and Grand Bahama, leaving the country on Saturday evening. Meantime, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell sending a strong message to those that may take issue with the royal visit. Here's Austin Fernander with that report.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William and Kate, are in the country for a royal visit to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty the Queen. But a number of civil organizations are set to hold demonstrations at some point over the course of their visit. We cannot say when and where these protests will occur, but we do know that FOAM, Family of All Murder Victims, and the Rastafarian community plan to hold demonstrations for varying causes. With this, the Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell addresses the apparent outpouring of grievances seemingly taken by many Bahamians with the royal family's visit and our national acknowledgement of the British monarchy.
No, we're not going to leave the Commonwealth.
Why is that?
Because we're part of the Commonwealth, and you can be a republic in the Commonwealth. We're not leaving the Commonwealth. Trinidad is a republic, Dominica is a republic, Barbados is a republic. They're all, India is a republic.
But you do feel like we should still acknowledge the monarchy in England?
No, it's not a question for me whether we should or we shouldn't. What I explain to people is we are a monarchy. That's the constitution you all accept, or we all accept. All the members of Parliament and the senators swore allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen, her heirs and successors. So one of the successors is coming here. Unfortunately, or for those who are the critics of it, that's the way it is. Now, if this generation wants to change the Constitution, there's a way to do that. You get 3/4 or 2/3 of the members of Parliament to vote to change the Constitution, and then you go to the country and see if you can get 50% plus one. That's how you do it. Until then, all of this is just talk and chatter.
Now, the Foreign Affairs Minister's comments come on the heels of reports of Jamaica's demanding for slavery reparations and for a formal apology from Britain for decades of colonialism. He notes that the root of the issue is not the Bahamas being a part of the Commonwealth, but rather Bahamians taking the proper steps to enact constitutional change.
My personal position has been clear on this from 1973. We should have gone straight to being a republic, but we didn't, because the founding prime minister and his colleagues could not sell independence to the country by going to a republic. So we have a monarchy, and it still exists. It's a free country, however, and people who want to advocate for change, they have a right to do so, and we'll see how it turns out.
To the matter of protesters, Minister Mitchell adds that he personally has no issues with those choosing to hold demonstrations for what they believe in. As he says, it's part of the democratic process.
Dr. Cleveland Edius, the late, whose name the school is named after, used to always say, if you want to hide something from a Bahamian, put it in writing. So it's all there. It's not hidden from anyone. You just have to read the Constitution. It says what it says. The Queen is the head of state of the Bahamas. That's the Constitution we have. It also says how you can change the Constitution. When I was in high school, I fought for the country to be independent. Now I ask you all, who are all in your 20s, and don't like this and don't like that. There's a way to change things. If you want to change it, you have the power to do so. And it's your country. So go out and change it if that's what you want to do.
For JCN News, I'm Austin Fernander.
Former progressive liberal parliamentarian and cabinet minister Shane Gibson and the government have reached a settlement of some $2.5 million following claims by Mr. Gibson that he was falsely imprisoned and maliciously prosecuted following his acquittal of bribery in 2019. Mr. Gibson in 2017 was accused of numerous counts of bribery and accused of having received some $200,000 from contractor Jonathan Ash in exchange for payments totaling $1 million for cleanup work after Hurricane Matthew in October 2016. Mr. Gibson was tried in the Supreme Court and was acquitted on November 27, 2019, following which he claimed that he suffered a substantial blow to his reputation and his finances. In November last year, Acting Chief Justice Bernard Turner awarded him costs. The former minister had sought costs under Section 20 of the Prevention of Bribery Act, which permits a person acquitted after trial before the Supreme Court to make such an application. The act says a court may award costs to that person, and the costs are to be taxed and paid out of the consolidated fund. Attorney, poet, essayist, filmmaker, human and gender rights activist Marian Bethel speaking out on women's rights in the Bahamas and eliminating forms of discrimination based on gender. Mrs. Bethel was on Love 97's radio talk show Issues of the Day with host Christian Jones. Here she is speaking on how government officials have been handling the issue of marital rape.
As you are aware, the government, the executive, is responsible for creating the policy around governance, any area of governance of the country. And so if we're talking about this issue of gender-based violence and marital rape, the executive must have a policy around that and also advance that policy and move to have it go through the legislative process with the House of Assembly and the Senate. So I think that the pressure is on for the Bahamas to criminalize rape within a marriage. The pressure is on. It's on domestically. NGOs here are adamant that the government move forward in this direction.
Mrs. Bethel says she does think the pressure is on the government to move quickly with the legislation related to gender-based violence and marital rape. She says they hold the power of criminalizing to signal to the Bahamian people that rape within a marriage is wrong, and it's a strong condemnation of this human rights violation.
So the Bahamas government has that obligation, and so each and every one of the executive and also the legislature really have to step up and be informed about the context within which this whole action is moving forward. And so it behooves the government to have a principled position, a morally just, socially just position, human rights-based position on this issue, and move in solidarity to put it forward through the legislature. And each and every legislator must inform him or herself on these issues so that they can appropriately and inform the public about what we are doing and why we're doing it.
Prime Minister Philip Davis has gone on record before to say that rape is rape, and the issue of marital rape could possibly be dealt with during his time in office. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.